Well, let's bring Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca back into the weather conversation. And is that monsoon? That's still, you said in your first hit that the monsoon weather is still affecting us here, huh?
Yeah, in fact, we are going to see that monsoon moisture sticking around for the next week or so, which is going to make for some interesting things for our weather. We didn't really feel any impacts today. Here was the sunset from Salinas. Well, to be technical, it was the Salinas Airport Business Center. That's what the sign says on the road anyway. We had some low clouds out there, the sun just peeking through as it was setting tonight. Today was an interesting day. We had some heat inland, 103 degrees, our hot spot in Parkfield, but most cities near the coast weren't all that warm. It was 82 in Hollister, a little warmer than yesterday. Santa Cruz also warmed up from yesterday's high. We got to 73. Salinas and Monterey were in the upper 60s, and Moss Landing for the second day in a row was our cool spot at only 62 degrees. A live look from Domenico's on the Wharf. If you joined us during our 10 o'clock news tonight, there was an extremely bright light in the sky. We thought it might be aliens. No news on that. It seems to have gone away, so that's some good news. It looks just a little misty and foggy out there tonight. Really, I'm not trying to break any. This is not the world's telecast. There are no aliens. It's fine, okay? Everyone, it's okay. Here's a look at the low clouds. We have some swirling around the bay tonight. Watch out for patchy fog and reduced visibility out there. Temperatures in the 50s to low 60s. I repeat, there are no aliens. And up in the thermal belts, we do have temperatures in the 70s in some of the hilly country in southern Monterey and San Benito County. So still warm up in the hills. Down near the coast, it's somewhat cool and a little bit on the misty side. Temperatures are going to stay in the mid-50s overnight, but we have some moisture starting to work its way into the region from the monsoon. Now, a few light showers may still percolate their way to the west for us. They're mostly dissipating across the Central Valley, but we may see a couple just try to make their approach overnight toward us. We do expect at least some mid-level clouds to arrive with those potential showers. This is kind of the leading edge of the monsoon moisture, which is really going to stick around for the next week or so, and all the while as it sits in place, it will act as fuel for any sort of weather disturbance that moves by and decides it wants to make some showers out of it. The thing is, over the next couple of days, I'm not really seeing anything that's going to do that, so I don't have any showers or thunderstorms in the forecast for the next couple of days outside of any light shower that happens late tonight, which is still kind of like a low probability event. But there is some potential rather in that 7-day forecast, which we'll show you in a moment. In the meantime, tomorrow, expecting a very similar scenario to recent days. We'll clear out in Santa Cruz, hold on to a few low clouds on the south and east shores of the bay, and those clouds will thicken up once again tomorrow night. All the while, again, a few high clouds may be approaching from the east, not the common direction to expect the high clouds from, but that's the way they're coming, even though the low clouds will be coming in from the northwest. We're talking about layers here, people, and sometimes they go in different directions. That's why it's so fun to forecast here on the west coast. All right, let's talk about some temperatures for you tomorrow. It will actually be fairly warm. The area of high pressure, which is kind of developing over us, will actually strengthen for the next 24 to 48 hours or so. So I'm expecting warmer temperatures tomorrow, and then an eventual cool down. But it could get up to 90 degrees in Boulder Creek tomorrow, 80s elsewhere in the Santa Cruz Mountains, 60s to 70s on the coast. In fact, I have Santa Cruz a couple of degrees warmer than what we had today. East shore of the bay ranging from the low 70s in the north to the mid 60s in the south. We'll be in the upper 60s in Prunedale and Salinas, 80s into Hollister. There's the three right there behind me. 88 in Gilroy, and mid 90s in Morgan Hill and Watsonville. You'll be topping out at 71 tomorrow. Over to the Monterey Peninsula, you'll see comfortable conditions, a little sunshine sneaking in at times. 66 your high in Monterey tomorrow, 67 in Seaside. And then farther to the south, again, a huge range depending on how close to the coast you are, where we're going to be in the 70s in Gonzales and Greenfield. But south of King City, you warm up pretty quickly, and we'll have triple digits in our southern and higher valleys in the south. So over the next 7 days, that monsoon moisture is going to stick around. And what I'm doing is watching for smaller scale disturbances. Now, those kind of show up in the short term. So what I'm talking about is there might be a thunderstorm complex that develops over Arizona tonight, and then a weak wave associated with that barrels across the Sierra Nevada late tomorrow. You know, a scenario like that, and that could spawn a few things. The models don't really pick up that kind of stuff until it's actually in progress. So there's going to be a lot of what we call game time or nowcasting decisions with this monsoon moisture in place. With that said, a larger scale system is scheduled to arrive from the northwest early next week. That may be enough energy to get some showers and thunderstorms going. So that's the day I think is most likely to see some activity, but it's possible something may occur before then. But we're going to have to keep an eye on it for you. So we look at the inland forecast. It's very similar, except the temperatures. Again, we're going to be watching for any thunderstorm chances over the next several days. But in the meantime, your inland highs are actually going to go down a bit. Might be a little muggier as we head toward the weekend, but highs will be seasonable to slightly cool for this time of year, Phil.
Oh, it sure will. Thanks, Dan.